My name is Colby Ritten. I am from Orlando, Florida, and I'm currently a redshirt freshman heading into next season as a redshirt sophomore.
Trips receivers, bottom of your screen. Who will Brunson throw to? He will run. He will be sacked back at the 26-yard line. There's that redshirt freshman, Colby Ritten. Colby Ritten. Yeah.
Well, my dad, he played at Florida, and he actually coached me when I was little, and so I kind of just wanted to follow into his footsteps. And I mean, I love the sport, so I was an offensive lineman actually pretty much my whole life, and then coming up into Richmond, I went over to the other side and was a defensive lineman. Well, I just love being on that side. I love the toughness of it and the grind, and it's really fun. Senior year of high school, my coach actually asked me if I wanted to go over and play a little bit of defense, and I said sure, why not? So I played a couple games, and I just loved it from there, and just asked him if he could put me in more.
Just a really solid kid, hard worker. Comes from a good athletic family. His father played University of Florida, and I think growing up where he grew up, in the Orlando area, and really good football in that area. He came to Richmond with a really strong work ethic. And what's happened is that just through the course of him working hard and being extremely coachable, he's really developed into a very good football player for us in the interior.
Well, Sparky was my recruiting coordinator, and he was great. As soon as he showed me around, I just fell in love with the school. And I did have a few offers, and I sat down with my family and we went over it, and we thought Richmond was the best fit for me. And not only are you getting a great education here, but you're also playing quality football. Just the guys around here, that's just like, I feel like we're all just a family and we're all super close, and they let me in, and I just felt very welcomed here. So that's one of the things that I loved about this place.
A lot of times in athletics, and especially in football, you can get away with some things, but you can't get away with not giving effort. And what happens is when you combine a young man who's going to give outstanding effort every play, and then is going to be cognizant enough to be mindful of his technique, and is going to do the extra things throughout the course of the week from Sunday through Friday to prepare for a game. That's the thing about football, and especially with him. He made a lot of clean plays, but he made a lot of junk plays too, in which he may have been out of position, but because he's turning and busting his tail to the ball, he'll make a play or cause a fumble or disrupt a play, or get a big stop, just purely off of effort.
I just did my job. I was trying to work as hard as I could, and I'm not really trying to look at the past now. I'm trying to look at what's happening now and what I need to do for the future and to prepare for the future, which is get stronger, faster, smarter on the field. It's good. It feels good to put the pads back on. We're popping them pretty hard right now, and it's great to see the younger guys get some reps in, and they're doing great, and they're already progressing, and we only had like 4 practices. So just to see, in 2 or 3 weeks, come that spring game, I'm excited to see, how far they've come along.
Without him needing to be vocal, he's already a leader because of how he plays. I think just the environment of the room lends itself to, guys kind of all falling into a leadership role without really having to say anything. Ritten had a really good year, so the guys behind him are going to try to watch him and emulate. Because when you watch other guys like Mo and Darius and other guys in the room, what they try to do is emulate the guys that are in front of them, and that's probably the purest form of leadership that we have, is just by example.
My personal goal is just to get better as a player, and as also get my teammates better. Compete, practice as hard as I can, work on technique, skill, just everything.